Hi everybody, Miss Beck here, and I'm in the hallway today at Millennium Charter Academy. We're going to do our knowledge lesson, and our lesson for today is the tortoise and the hare, lesson number 12. Today we are going to identify the moral or the lesson in the story, and we're also going to learn a new vocabulary word, which is boasting. The word boasting means to brag or kind of be really, really proud of yourself and let other people know it. We are going to form ideas and make some sentences describing our fable today. So that first vocabulary word was boasting, which means bragging. The next word we have is darted. The word darted means to move suddenly. The frog darted across the street. And the third word is steadily. Steadily means moving continuously at the same speed. She worked steadily, hoping to finish her homework before dinner. Slow and steady. Those were our three vocabulary words, but there's one word I didn't introduce, and that's the word hare, the tortoise and the hare. Now, is Miss Beck talking about hare? No, I'm talking about a rabbit. A hare is another word for a rabbit. And a tortoise is, of course, a turtle. That's right. So rabbit is similar to a hare. Can you say the word hare? Hares actually have longer ears than rabbits, and they are usually faster. Now, turtles are similar to a tortoise. Okay? Can you say the word tortoise? Tortoises can be a little bit larger than a turtle, and while turtles spend most of their time in the water, most tortoises live on land. Tortoises move and crawl very slowly, and they are on land. Which animal do you think is faster, a tortoise or a hare? So today we're going to have a story about a race between a tortoise and a hare. Who do you think is going to win? When we make a prediction, we use details and information to make a guess about the outcome. So if you think the tortoise is going to win, thumbs up. If you think the hare is going to win, thumbs down. Okay, ready? Hands down. Tortoise. You all think the tortoise is going to win? I don't know. Hare. We'll find out the results. We're going to learn the lesson in our fable, and we're going to learn whether our prediction was correct. Once upon a time. There's that dog from yesterday. There was a hare who was always boasting or bragging about how fast he was. He never got tired of telling the other animals how fast he was and how slow they were. The hare was especially boastful when talking to the tortoise. "What a slow fellow you are," he said one day. "I really feel sorry for you, having to creep along like that. Creep, 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 creep." Creep means to move slowly along the ground. "It'll must take you all afternoon to crawl across the field." The tortoise was not amused. "You may be fast," said the tortoise, "but I bet I'll beat you in a race." "Ha, ha, ha," the hare said. "That is hilarious. You must be joking. A race between me and you wouldn't even be a race." The tortoise replied, "Well, then let's try. Suppose we race to the foot of the mountain." "Sure thing," said the hare. So the other animals gathered together to watch the race. "Ready?" said the squirrel. "Set," said the mouse. "Go!" The hare darted off quickly. Darted means to move slowly, No, to move suddenly, and ran so far ahead that he was almost out of sight. The tortoise set off too, moving slowly but steadily. Steadily means at the same speed. After he had gone about halfway to the mountainside, the hare looked back. He saw the tortoise was far behind, so far behind that he could never catch up. That is not much of a race, sniffed the hare. Since it seemed to him the race was already won, the hare decided to stop and take a little break or rest. He nibbled some carrots and ate some lettuce and chatted with some friends. All this while, the tortoise kept moving slowly and steadily. The hare looked back again and saw he was way out ahead, so he lay down on a pumpkin patch, closed his eyes, and pretended he was sleeping. He really didn't mean to go to sleep. He just wanted to show the tortoise he could take a little nap and still win the race. But it was a warm day, and it wasn't long before the hare started to sleep. Eventually, he nodded off and began to snore. What do you think's going to happen? While the hare was napping, the tortoise kept moving slowly and steadily. He wasn't fast, but he kept going, nice and steady. After 15 minutes, he crawled past the sleeping hare. After another 15 minutes, he was in a few feet of the stopping line. That is when the hare woke up from his nap. He realized what had happened and set off running for the mountain as fast as he could. But he was too late. The hare arrived just in time to see the tortoise crossing the finish line. So the moral of the story is, slow and steady wins the race. Were your predictions correct about who would win the race? Why or why not? Who won the race? That's right, the tortoise. In the fable, were the characters people or animals? That's right, they were animals. Why did the hare and tortoise decide to have a race? Well, that's because the hare was boasting, bragging about his speed, so the tortoise challenged him to a race. How is the tortoise able to beat the hare? Well, he's steady and he does not stop. He doesn't stop to rest and he does not stop to talk. He's a good example, isn't he? What is the moral of the fable? Slow and steady wins the race. And who was slow and steady? That's right, the tortoise. What does slow and steady mean? It means to keep going and don't take a break. Can this story really happen, or is it make-believe? How do you know? It is make-believe because animals don't really talk. In the read aloud you heard, there once was a hare who was always boasting about how fast he was. Say the word boasting with me. Boasting. When someone is boasting, he or she is bragging about something. He was boasting that he won the spelling bee. A person may boast about things that he has, or a special toy, or things they have done, or first prize in a contest. Think about some of the characters in the fables we have been reading and what they may have boasted about. Try to use the word boasting as you tell about it. Now use this sentence starter. The blank was boasting because. So take a moment and tell somebody that you're working with, someone who was boasting and why they were doing it. It can be somebody from one of the nursery rhymes or fables, or it can be just someone you know. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think the tortoise will keep boasting now that he's beaten the hare? Why or why not? Let's start our response like this. The tortoise will not start boasting because. So the question is, do you think the tortoise will start boasting? So the tortoise will start boasting. The tortoise will not start boasting. Which one do you think? In the fable you heard, since it seemed to him the race was already won, the hare decided to stop and take a break. To take a break means to take a rest from something. Break can also mean other things. Break could mean to split something into pieces. So you could break a pencil, or you could break a piece of wood. Break also means to damage things, like to cause something become broken so that it can't be used anymore. The chair was broken, so we couldn't sit in it anymore. Use the word break in a sentence. It can be something that's broken. It can be that you're breaking things, or it could be that you're actually going to take a break. Use that word in a sentence. All right, boys and girls, now we are going to retell our story, and we're going to go back to our picture cards. We're going to think about what happened during each part of the story, okay? All right, who do we have here? The tortoise and the hare. The hare is ready for the race, and the tortoise is ready for the race. The hare is boasting. He says he is so fast. The hare looks at the tortoise, and the hare thinks, I will win for sure. What happens next? The other animals gathered around to watch the race. Why do you think they wanted to do that? Do you think they were curious? I think so. Here they go. Slow and steady and fast hare. We would think that hare's going to win because hares are awfully fast. Well, hare got really fast and he got ahead of himself, didn't he? Because he looked so far behind him and he was like, well, that tortoise is so far behind me. I think that I will just take a break. So he went to sleep. And then by the time he went to sleep, what happened at the very end? He woke up and who was winning the race? The tortoise. So before you leave my story today, my lesson, I would like you to tell whoever you're working with the moral of the story, the hare and the tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race. So boys and girls, I want you to think about whether you would like to be slow and steady or fast like a hare. And remember, slow and steady can win the race.